Dick Van Dyke Show friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is KJ Ricardo, and today's episode is an episode spotlight on the very first episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show, The Sick Boy and the Sitter. This is the pilot episode, and it's one of the best pilot episodes of any show of all time, in my opinion. It introduces us to the Petrie family, to the writing staff for the Alan Brady Show, and it's just so much fun to watch. And so it premiered 58 years ago this week on October 3rd, 1961. And as you can probably imagine, there was a lot involved behind the scenes to make this episode happen. There was a total budget of $40,000. Executive producer Sheldon Leonard was a genius for maximizing the show's relatively limited resources, and so he knew how to make cheap pilots look good. He decided to have the pilot filmed on the Danny Thomas Show's stage when the show was on a temporary break. This was an ingenious idea because the show could have access to the Thomases' studio equipment without any additional charges, and this interaction allowed Danny Thomas to continue to be involved with the show. The pilot was in production the week of January 16th through the 20th, 1961. This week was really busy for Dick Van Dyke because at the time it was the height of the Broadway theater scene, and he was working in Bye Bye Birdie. The producers of that show were really anxious about Dick leaving for a week to film a TV pilot. Dick was eventually released from Bye Bye Birdie. Dick Van Dyke said, "I was a nervous wreck. I think I lost 5 pounds that week." Carl Reiner said that Dick developed a cold sore on his lip, and if you look closely, you can see that he has a cold sore. When Dick Van Dyke met Mary Tyler Moore for the first time that week, he was surprised at her young age. He didn't think audiences would believe that they were married, that she was married to someone 11 years older than her. But once Dick and Mary performed their first scene together, Carl Reiner was convinced that he made the right choice with the casting and that Dick and Mary had a rare form of chemistry. When the cast and crew were filming the pilot episode, producers had to eventually settle on a name of the show. It was still untitled. They couldn't go with Head of the Family, which was the pilot that Carl Reiner originally had, and they also considered different names like The Full House, Double Trouble, and All in a Day's Work, but none of those were really appropriate and perfect for the show, and so they eventually settled on the Dick Van Dyke Show, following the pattern of the Danny Thomas Show and the Andy Griffith Show. Dick was still concerned. He said, "Nobody knew who I was," and so Carl Reiner said that they would know Dick. He said, "In my mind, Dick Van Dyke was a star. If the rest of the world doesn't know it yet, let's tell them," and of course we did know. Upon selecting the pilot episodes, they had 13 written scripts to choose from, but they finally settled on The Sick Boy and the Sitter. The episode possessed a quality that was vital for a pilot. It had heart to it. It introduces us to the Petrie family, but it also introduces Rob's work as a TV sitcom writer, as well as it has an elaborate, fun party scene with plenty of comedy and music. It's just a wonderful pilot episode. It's just perfect. Camera coordinator Jim Niver said about the moment when Dick Van Dyke is pretending to be drunk, he said, "I'd never seen anyone do anything like that. Dick's ability to move amazed me. He could do things that nobody in the world could have done like him. He had the kind of body that would not quit." And that's true, and you can see that for the rest of the show. The pilot was filmed on Friday, January 20th, and it worked so well. The casting was pure serendipity. Everyone in the cast had the right rhythm together from day one, and they were in character from the very beginning. It's just such an enjoyable pilot episode because it just works so well. Everyone is in connection, chemistry, everything. It's just wonderful. And so to conclude this video, I put together a compilation of some of my favorite scenes and moments from this pilot episode. I just think, once again, it's a great pilot. It's one of the best pilots because it just works. It has that chemistry that you can see for the entire Dick Van Dyke Show. And so it's no wonder that the show was picked up for more episodes. And so I hope you can sit back and enjoy this video.
Well, then how do you know he's sick?
Well, there are symptoms.
What symptoms?
Well,
Come on, I'm the boy's father.
he turned down his cupcake.
He turned down his cupcake? And you didn't call an ambulance?
What are you doing?
I know you. Once this liver's cooked, you'll never go.
So you might as well put it back in the pan.
Oh, let's talk it over a little longer.
Robert, will you please put my liver back?
You don't mind if I go alone?
Not at all, darling.
Well,
It's just that I couldn't go to a party knowing my son was on the verge of being sick. I couldn't enjoy myself.
all right. All right, you win. We'll spend a quiet evening at home frying liver.
You don't have to stay.
I'm not going. I'm as good a mother as you are. I want you to go to that party with me because I love you. I may be crazy, but I think you're the best-looking gal I know. I want to show you off. How about it, Lori? Will you give me that pleasure?
No. Oh, and Janie, if anything unusual happens, just call your mother. She lives next
She
door.
knows where her mother lives.
Honey, you see why I shouldn't be going to this party.
The drive will clear your head. Now, come on.
Oh, Rob, I have to get dressed so fast. Oh, Janie, there are some cupcakes in the bread box next to the refrigerator, and there's some orange soda pop there, too.
Washington said farewell to the troops in less time. Come on.
Janie, there's some milk in the refrigerator on the shelf. There's a bottle that's already been started, I thought, in case you got
Laurie,
thirsty.
one more instruction. I'm going to pick you up and carry you out of here.
I'm ready, dear.
Oh, are you sure? Don't you want to tell Janie what television programs to watch?
There's a special on juvenile delinquency. I don't know the time or channel, but there's a program that Honestly, what are you... Don't go into Richie's room. You may wake him. Use the newspaper. It's in the wastepaper basket.
The party will be
There's
over.
pears and apples in the fruit bowl, bottom shelf of the
Laurie.
refrigerator. Just a minute.
What did you say was in the bottom shelf of the refrigerator?
Who knows? If it's food, eat it. If it's a phone number, call it.
Goodbye, goodbye. We're here to say goodbye. We haven't time to say hello and so goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. I'm here to say goodbye. Arrivederci, au revoir, and so goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, for our first encore, may I present to you our human joke machine. This man can make a joke out of any word in the English language. May
Any
we
word
have
at
a
all.
word?
Come on,
please?
Any word, somebody with a word, any word.
Horse.
Oh, I have a lady, she has a word, horse.
A joke about a horse. Horse. Let me see. If everybody owned a horse, the country'd be more stabilized.
Let's have another word. I got another word over here.
Milk bath.
Milk bath.
Milk bath, eh? There's a good... Anybody else got one?
Milk bath.
All right, a friend of mine was very seriously hurt taking a milk bath. Ask me why.
Why?
Funny you should ask. What happened was the cow slipped on a piece of soap and fell on his head.
I used to dream once long ago that someday I'd have a lot of dough and a sable or a mink. I'd have settled for rabbit, I think. But now those dreams are gone. With time they've drifted away. If I only had one wish to make, this is what I am wishing today. I wish I could sing like Durante. Jimmy's got the voice I love. I wish I could hit those high notes. That's the one that I'm speaking of. I wish I could sing. That's a little too loud, fellas. Hold it. Hold it, fellas. Will you keep it down? It's a little too loud. Is that you, dear?
Oh, hello, sweetheart.
My, it's awful late, dear. What happened?
Well, I had a meeting at the office, and I just couldn't get away.
Oh, well, how about some coffee?
Oh, honey, I'd love some coffee.
I'll get you
Thank
some.
Sweetheart, was there any mail today?
Oh, yes, some very important letters. I'll
Thank
get
you.
them for you. Here. Here's a
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Uh-huh.
Listen, honey, are you hungry? Would you like a sandwich?
I would love a sandwich.
All right. How would you like a ham on rye?
Oh, I'd love a ham on rye.
Fine. With mustard? With pickle?
Pickle!
Honey, you don't look right. You know what I think you need? I think you need a nice stiff drink. Hello. We're here to say hello. Now we gotta go.
You know, you're pretty amazing. You really expected something to happen here tonight, didn't you?
Well, I never expected Janie to hit her head on the door.
Yeah, but you expected something.
Yeah,
How did you know?
darling. I'm a woman.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode spotlight on the pilot episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show. Once again, I think it's one of the best pilot episodes of any show. It's just such a great introduction to the entire show, the characters, and just the chemistry between the cast members. It's just wonderful. And so I hope you enjoyed this compilation and overview of the making of this episode. Let me know what you enjoyed best about this video, and I would be happy to read that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with another video. And remember to always laugh often.